And the Scion will never really be a threat, will always be pushed out by the Gnar, so if the lane assignments are strong here for BNK, and Smash doesn't get off the ground early, for Dplus, you are just simply going to have to hope that when you get to that late game, you're not behind, keeping the CS at least, you know, decently even, considering the matchup.
Yeah. Thinking for a play here on Vikla, who just does not flash the shove. Now he's going to flash, but I don't know about that. Jarvan coming over, but way too late. First blood given over to Showmaker.
Smash, Diablo's like, I would have done the same thing.
280 carries, handshake across the rift. Lucid going to be spotted here. We got a wall coming in. Lucid in a bit of trouble. Kellen here first as well. There's just nowhere for Lucid to go. And the chains going to land here onto the Ezreal. Flash damage comes in from Smash. And now Smash, no flash. He's just dead. Nowhere to go. And you see that career trying to back. But there's no way they're going to let him go. And the second they got the Ezreal, the Yuumi is always just going to be tacked on. And eventually, Vikla takes him down. So 3 kills go the way of BNK on the bottom side of the map.
Showmaker opts not to TP down. He TPs back to lane and is going to get some plate gold in return here. That shield that Career's trying to put on here just doesn't feel that great when this Varus is charging up these arrows and tossing them into you. As you can see here, Smash is going to shift this one, but may even cost them an additional farm here as they are looking for more.
Oh, the max range chain! Smash is dead again! And Career, well, we just said it before, he is absolutely dead. They're just trying to give the kill over to Diablo, but the arrow at least misses. And a double kill goes to Raptor. We got a TP coming in, though.
Yeah, this is a very greedy choice. Lucid's coming over as well. I don't know if they get anything from this. It's a bit slow.
Yeah, just a little bit slow. And, well, he's going to ult into the wall. And maybe, with the smash on Kellen, they will get him. So they at least get the support. But now Clear wins.
Clear doesn't actually even need to use his TP, and that will tie us up one apiece in terms of dragons, but the execution of this was incredibly risky. If Kellen gets away there, it's even worse. He did not have flash. Well, really starts to add up how much you can get as Showmaker looks for shove.
Trying for it. Remember, Diablo does not have his flash. Shutdown goes in. Showmaker gets away from the Jarvan for now, but Raptor comes in. Vikla's here as well. Big shove onto the two of them. And Career not able to get on in there onto Lucid, as Lucid going kind of crazy mode right now. Is going to have the cat on his back as well, but eventually does go down. And Career this time will waddle away.
A Oblivion Orb extra worth of gold over his opponent, and that's actually really important. Playing into Yuumi is actually going to feel really nice for him to have that. And he can proc it very easily as Vikla? No way, right?
Yeah, yes way. Talia really very much struggling into the Scion, and shove is going to miss. He gets axed down by Scion. Shia with the solo kill.
Massive. If they get Herald and then can contest with his dragon, it is a double win here for BNK, especially, again, considering that Vikla did not have TP. Does have his Weaver's Wall available.
Maybe you let a second one go over. Lucid is here, though, and they do want to fight this, actually, kind of. As Showmaker's not here, this is going to be secured by Raptor, and Lucid, he's going to be walked into the pit. Now he doesn't have his flash. We got TP coming in, as DK are like, who cares about item spikes? We want to fight right now. And they don't even have a jungler anymore. Lucid about to go down. There he goes. As Smash as well being slowed up. There's the big ult into the wall. Catches 2 and make it 3 with the Yuumi. They take down Smash. And that's about all they're going to get as DK just waddle away as well.
There's been so much of this game that has been played by Dplus, almost as if, you know, it's the Wadid principle, you know, playing not to lose, like, or playing really like as if you have already lost, in hoping that maybe the Varus wasn't going to be able to do enough long-term damage and that then the Ezreal would carry. But the Ezreal doesn't have 2 items, like you said, and that was a bit of a flop for Dplus. It might have cost them the end of this game. Like, there was still an in, but now there's not.
Absolutely does feel that way, Wolf, as they're trying to punish Clear here. Might just be able to. No flash on him, and that will be a kill. A shutdown going over to Showmaker. We got a big push in mid, though, as BNK looking to get a bunch back. They're also going to get some turret plates in top lane and really try to solidify this lead.
Yeah, it's a kill.
You give a bunch of money over to one of your main carries in Showmaker and hope that he can, you know, get a little bit of a snowball going himself and maybe carry a little bit later on, which is why I expected them to just give the Drake up.
Are looking to TP here to mid with Diablo, who picks up his 3rd item as they are looking for Soul Point, and I just don't think Dplus should be anywhere near this.
Nice dodging here from Lucid as Vikla, once again, he is putting his face in it. Has to flash away. We got a Scion going in. Kellen's just going to flash out of the way. And that means that Vikla and Diablo are in big trouble as the Sion is behind them. They do take down Lucid though, and now the Sion alone is not able to do too much. Smash being bullied in the front line, gets taken out, and the damage and the wallets are too big for the side of BNK. Bait them into the fight, as Vikla says, I got him this time.
The draft here for Dplus certainly had its ins. It certainly had the ability to scale and maybe smash. The 1v9 angle, that dream could have been real if they didn't fall behind with really little prio in this game with the draft they had. And from behind, when your engage is Xinjiao with Yuumi and hoping for the best, or perhaps a crazy Sion flank, that at this lead, at this deficit for Dplus, there just isn't a whole lot of agency for you with this composition.
Soul that DK could be facing right now when you got Talia and Varus. I mean, it's really ridiculous. Even the flag and the karma, like if BNK get the Soul, I mean, the game is essentially over at this point with the 9,000 gold lead for BNK and the comp they have. But as you mentioned, maybe if we go another 15 minutes, we could make something of it. But instead, it's just going to be Xiu going down.
Xiu trying to make a big play, but sadly will just come up empty-handed. I think they know, they have been playing as if, in some ways, that this
Not
game...
the closest one to start this one off, but I think we had an inkling when we saw the draft and then saw the way the beginning of the game did play out. And I think DK is definitely going to have to go back to the drawing board. They showed some signs of life in this game, but very quickly after that, it fell very quickly in favor of BNK. 11,000 gold here, the lead for BNK. Showmaker's
farmed an incredible amount, does have a 20 CS lead over Vikla. He has the smallest gold deficit, and that will decrease as he grabs his bounty on the turret. But what does that necessarily mean? What does that translate to in this game where
moments like this? So would imagine that BNK can just group up in top, use the last of their Red Bull Baron power play, and then probably group up for that final Drake and try to end it there. It's still relatively early, right? It's only 26 minutes in. So they're really trying to get as much out of this as possible. The very, the dregs of the Red Bull Baron power play come in. They're going to utilize as much of that as possible to try to hit this turret. As Lucid is going to go, stacks up the Q. Vikla just flashes away. The Raptor goes very hardcore into that backline, immediately just dies. But look at Clear bouncing in the backline, takes them out. As BNK, FEARX, no fear, they dive the turrets. And they get a lot out of it. They didn't necessarily have to do that, but you know what? They're going to get the tower for their troubles.
Yeah, when Xiu falls here, they should be able to actually chip away and take out this inhibitor as well, which would be the third and final, which would guarantee that dragon is all. But, I mean, I cannot even imagine a world where if BNK took their hands off the keyboard, Dplus could get the dragon with 3 inhibitors down. They don't need to end here.
I was talking about, like, you have this Yuumi, but you're dealing with so many fed poke champions. Showmaker dodges everything. As now, Xiu gonna go in and send it one last time. But Raptor surviving gets in. Flag and drags into the backline. Lucid creates a lot of space. The GA is popped, but I just think the wallets are too heavy at this point in the game. As down will go Showmaker tries to make the play, and he does scoop up one, but that's only Vikla, and your Nexus is exposed. BNK looking like the much stronger team here in game number 1, and they want to send a message as well with the last minutes of gameplay as they're trying to take all of them out, but they'll just take down the Nexus and move ahead in the series 1-0.
127 is the gold lead for Showmakers. You in those types of choke points and those types of narrow engages that you're looking for, and she loves that. Yeah. That's where she thrives. A pillar is looking at that the same way. Oh, you're all trying to funnel to this one choke point to set up a really nice combo, and he's a great skirmishing jungler early, so it's really difficult for Career and Smash to really make a play here. They cannot even enter.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they kind of want to do something, but it's just a smite on the dragon. We got an ult down on a Vikla, as immediately Showmaker is forcing Vikla out of this one. Flash comes forward, and down will go Vikla. Just like that, Showmaker warping the game around his Yone.
Just like he did in game 1.
Having that rise power is going to be significantly delayed, and the Yone can do stuff, as we do have some pressure in top lane. Clear. Gonna zigzag back and forth, even flashes away. Career kind of reconsidering it, but is going to go in with the flash and the dredge line, and he does not miss those. and will pick up the kill here for Xiu. It's, you know, having the Aurora to deal with the Renekton in top lane has helped out DK a lot, and also I feel like DK are just playing better League of Legends so far, and the draft is what it is, but you know, you got outplays from Showmaker, you got great plays from Career with the great roam timing up to top lane. That's how you're going to win with a comp like this.
Likely will be, and it was really good pressure applied there by the bottom duo. Like you mentioned, the TP is there for Smash. He's going to use it to come straight back to lane, so he can push this wave in and out.
Hextech again.
It is Hextech again. Now Diablo has to make a tough call. Does he want to back here with low mana or stay? If he backs, he's going to lose so much on this turret as Raptor's coming in looking for a play.
Here we got the collapse coming on in. Subjugate not utilized on time, and he flashes away and just dies to Lucid.
Nicola is overcommitting as well.
Yeah, should be able to get this kill though. We'll see what happens after that. He will flash the wall and get away.
All right, I spoke too soon on that one. His flash is going to be good over the fat wall there.
Yeah. And it just feels like DK are playing much better League of Legends here in game number 2, especially compared to the first game we had. In this Ass Seraphine, yes, they're ahead, but not that far ahead. Not as far ahead as you would expect, as we have a committal here, and Career's just kind of getting left out to dry, as Showmaker's like, sorry, buddy, way more than I expected in this fight, and I'm just going to ult this wall and get away.
And Showmaker's hesitating to back, but I think he doesn't want to give this turret, but I'm not sure if he can make something of this, as Kellen's a bit isolated.
Yeah, Kellen backing on a control ward, not the safest place to back there, and he just dies. I don't really... I mean, they felt like they had a lot of control over that push, I think, and that they could just back wherever they wanted, but...
Dplus are going to have this Herald, and I said this is going to be our first real major fight, but without ultimates here for BNK, they may just simply let it go. They're in position, but without the ults, it's difficult to actually fight. As speaking of no ults, Showmaker comes up in 10.
Yeah, Career in a lot of trouble here. Subjugate is down onto him, and Clear has the inside track. Raptor just going to pick up that kill, and DK have to abandon the pit for now. Although it does look like with the Ziggs coming up and a TP channeled from Showmaker, they want to get in. The smite is good from Raptor, but now the turn comes down, and immediately Xiu is just dead. Lucid as well being kited out very nicely. Raptor going to put down the Rift Herald as well. They're considering for sure if they want to continue on this one, but
I think he should be able to drift into the mid lane here.
Yeah, scaling there. But DK, I mean, that was their opportunity to make this game theirs, but not quite, as we're going to have a fight underneath this one. Diablo just gets blown to smithereens.
Well, the Dragon...
Drake does go over to the Trundle, and Raptor's not done yet, as Lucid in a lot of trouble himself, and will be chased down, and DK are going in 1-by-1, but the damage is insane. They go all in onto the Renekton, as Clear is going to have to pay for their sins, whereas the rest of BNK still on the run. We have DK on the chase here. They're looking to hide on Bush and maybe get that going, but they knew they were in the charm. But the charm goes down onto Showmaker, and it's 2 for BNK. And hiding on Bush, the best strategy you can have.
Now, Faker may not be here in Hong Kong, but his legacy still remains. As in this moment, DK have no choice but to follow. They cannot just simply give this Drake up and let them get out. It's 3 kills the opportunity. But unfortunately, and Smash forced to flash here. May still be dead.
I think he's just dead. Nowhere for him to go. Vikla is unstoppable. 5-1 on the Rice. He's 2,000 gold.
The back-breaking moment. And this is just insult to injury. As Smash gets over the wall, but still gets rune prisoned and is taken down. As this lead is exploding now for BNK. Double what it was moments ago, but the map control is real.
Look at Lucid in a lot of trouble on the Raptors. Oh, that was a big bomb on a Diablo. And he nearly just dies straight up to Smash.
Meanwhile, turret, so some of that lead has diminished a little bit here.
Nearly a full level ahead of Yone. NT did not finish the stacks on, the Rod of Ages. They're just going to go for this in 20 minutes.
Both of their soul laners in bottom lane have TP.
Yeah, it's on Vision. I mean, they saw this happening. And TP's going to be used, only one of them, notably. Well, so they use one, and that stops them from taking the... Well, I say that.
Xiu does commit his anyways.
And now we're going to have the Dredge line in onto the Trundle. The arrow hits nobody, and Showmaker goes super deep for tons of damage, but now out of position, has to flash. Smash doesn't have his, and he will get smashed down the bottom lane, and DK is gone. And BNK will get something for their troubles.
It's very challenging, and even the Aurora, who isn't melee, has to do so much upfront burst at low range to be relevant in these fights. And she went Leandri's, so the burst is not as strong as it otherwise could be on the map. Is insane. This Trundle has a frozen heart.
Yeah, I think from ahead, this comp is just so oppressive. And Xiu, standing on Vision, doesn't know it. And gets caught in a really rough spot. I mean, that's
game.
The worst timing as well. We just realm warp into the Baron pit, they say. Rise goes without saying. You see Lucid, he's going to have to go for it. He's going to have to pull out the big smites just like he did against Owner. Flashes into the pit. Tons of burst damage does come down as they try to go deep for Diablo, but Diablo stays alive. And they do get the kill on a clear, though. BNK not in the best of spots. Smash kind of ruling the Rift right now against all these low health bars is going to push them off the objective. So aggressively to try to start these fights. I feel like it's BNK. You've got to let DK come to you instead. They're just running into the jungle. Vicklit's going to go down. And immediately Showmaker picks up a huge shutdown.
I mean, they don't have their critical tools in this fight. They don't have the Encore. And Vickla's still, I mean, look, he was massively ahead. He's still 1,000 gold ahead in this game. But you're not so ahead that you can just walk into 5 without any support.
So forced to the rest of the comp. Might just be enough. Lucid is spotted. He's just going to go right on in because he doesn't have anywhere else to go. And that's going to be the 6. Just blown up like that. And the Rise incredibly strong right now. And that is what Vikla is capable of on this pick when he is very fed. Is now going to go on in. The stun on the Showmaker, though. And that means he misses entirely, trying to be the hero. Meanwhile, Xiu trying to 1v1 Vikla. I don't know about that one, buddy, as the map is falling apart for DK, and maybe now BNK can take the Baron.
It looks likely. There's just no one to stop them. And I'm not sold on that Lucid flank there, because you're playing into this comp. You need to be able to get, like...
It needs to be a little bit cleaner from DK if they're going to have a chance in this game, but now might be a little bit too little too late.
That's a Renekton with half a Fury bar. He's not too worried about getting due diligence everywhere. They leave no stone unturned, and so this Wukong flank is just caught out immediately. Now they're looking for a TP flank. That's out of vision.
Yeah, Korea's getting burst down in the front part of this fight as they are going to get the flash out of Diablo, and immediately Showmaker just dies as maybe they take out the Ash, so Xiu does get on the flank here. And now Vikla is underneath the turret, does an insane amount of damage to Smash, and maybe he is the one that can break open the space. Down will go the Renekton. They're still chasing under the turret. Guys, you're going too aggressive. I know your team is BNK FEARX and you don't have fear, but come on, guys.
Deal with the top wave.
Yeah, on the side of BNK, like, we talked about this draft-wise. If you get behind against Seraphine Trundle, look at this damage. I mean, it's already like half gone. And Lucid's like, well, maybe I can get, no, I can't get past the Renekton. There's the root, there's the Baron. Goes over to BNK.
And they passed the patience test I was talking about. They played it well, they played aggressively, they found their angle, they get the Baron with no risk. They made it a zero-risk Baron.
So got to be careful about that, but, and also that, don't run straight into the Ziggs bomb. But you can still siege until the dragon comes up and then try to get Hextech Soul and win the game off of that. It's even on the bottom side of the map. And besides that, I don't really see a good angle. Vikla gonna take a bunch of damage, but runs straight up to the Soul and says, I will take you down! Flashes in and takes him out. Showmaker no longer on the Rift as in will go Raptor. Lucid getting bullied away. And these 2 inhibitors will fall. And maybe the 3rd to follow as well. Maybe they say, well, we don't even need to play around the dragon. We can just end this game right here.
They have so many Baroned up cannon minions. It's just an insane siege as Clear can buy so much space. And I think BNK are going up to match point here, Valdez. A very dominant start to the series.
Looking fantastic so far in the first couple of wins. Not very close in these 2 games. As maybe they get Raptor, but they will not get the game. It's 2-0. That does go to BNK FEARX.
With Nocturne either, it can if you're in the right place at the right time. And the Nocturne finds that ambitious ultimate.
Yeah, you have a lot of kill pressure with the Unleashed Power and the Paranoia that come through if you want to blow up one target, but you know that Raptor is here. And we don't know exactly where he is either. Just kind of go for the Wolves, maybe? Okay, well, Lucid coming on in, going for an early gank, and Kellen just dies. First blood given over to Career from the first couple of games, but they need him to be playing good League of Legends. As Kellen, speaking of which, he's going to have to flash away. Career flashes forward as well. And Diablo now is like, I've got an opportunity here as barriers are going to be traded.
Yeah, Kellen gets his heal back online, so that's a little bit of extra health as they get the slow.
Slurkle comes in. Career in a lot of trouble. No sums. Couple more autos could do it. Flash forward and Diablo, seeing blood in the water, picks up a kill for himself. Getting ahead here on this Jack's going to feel very good as Lucid will pick up the streak with the help of the Corki.
With the win of the Talia that Vikla picked up in game 1, his Syndra is now his lowest win rate champion with more than 15 games played.
And his circle comes down. You can see that Raptor's just itching. He wants to press it, and in he goes in onto the Nami. And Career's like, what do I even do? I was playing carefully. As now Lucid gonna come in. They try to take down Raptor, but Raptor is so tanky, and Diablo just runs him down. And even gonna push Smash back just a little bit for good measure, and wins the trade in a big way. Now we have Burst coming in. Showmaker wants to punish Vikla here as the Q comes down, and Showmaker doesn't quite have the pressure. Kellen getting in. He wants the kill, but it goes over to Raptor instead, and Smash will follow eventually. Really, the only question is who picks this one up as the Q comes down, and actually,
I think
he does get away.
And I believe the Pantheon was seen backing. I'm not 100% sure, but it looked like he was on a ward. He's going to show up again right now, so they know where he is.
Uh-oh. Yeah, and now they're just going to try to turn this onto the Corki. You see that the Fear comes down, but they got to deal with the Pantheon. Lucid doing a good job of frontlining. Flash comes forward as Showmaker wants to make the play, but Lucid goes down. As that will be the kill over to Raptor. Now the chase is on, onto Career. Flash forward, it's not going to connect. And now Vikla being burst away. The Unleashed power comes in though, as, oh no, Diablo oversteps. Not the first time, but that is massive for the side of DK. Vikla trying to get out. It looks like he barely will be able to.
Has the shield, gets the scatter, and he gets away. He's wants to lurk here and find Smash.
I think
he was on a ward.
Okay, well.
Hey, not really two ways about it. Dplus like, thanks for the freebie.
Showmaker just dies, and this is right before the Infernal Drake. Clear is being bopped a little bit, and actually the Infernal does go over to DK, so they were on it, and Showmaker tried to rotate over, it looks like.
You can see that despite his death, he has a significant gold lead himself, Showmaker, and the Corki is caught up in the bottom lane from what unfortunately was a lot of errors from Career there.
It happens to the guy who made the meme. Yeah, Showmaker not going to enjoy that too much, but this is pretty massive for DK, as you mentioned. 2 dragons. They've caught up in essentially every facet, and Vikla once again, this time he's just going to face check, and guess who's here? It is indeed Lucid. Somehow Career gets that kill, as now they're going for the kill up on the top side. Looks like once again Showmaker will meet his arch nemesis as Clear picks up another kill and gets him down. Siu is going in, but that is Yunara.
Here right now is the Jax is dealing with the Yunara, so not having a great time.
Siu, no, what's going on here?
And so the Corki is backing
mid,
and he just dies in the mid lane to the Yunara. Like I was saying, this is not where the Jax wants to be. The Jax wants to be dealing with the Cassante, where you can counter-strike and buy space, not where Showmaker is, who ends up getting caught there on the top side and burst down. And Dplus is macro, falling apart a little bit here in this mid game, and now the Herald is up for grabs.
Yeah, it just looks like they're falling apart a little bit at the seams. And now the Herald's up here, and now we got the stun down on a Lucid. Tons goes into him, and Clear has the flank once again. 2 kills, the Herald, and Smash alone just trying to get away. As Diablo is just so powerful right now. We do see Lucid is here, and the flash!
Diablo baits him! He baits him!
Oh, he's just styling all over DK right now, and Showmaker once again has to deal with these 2. Once again dies to the Cassante.
I mean,
what do you do?
When we had Arrow on the desk the other day, he was like, I don't know why Diablo plays like this, doesn't need to, but
as we definitely know, he is a big part of it. It looks like this first Mountain Drake should be going over to the side of BNK. Channeling a back here is Cassante. Just gonna find Siu, who's like, well, what's going on here in this bush? I've got a counter-strike that's not gonna do all too much against the Syndra. There's a lot of damage, a massive stun comes down, but the health bars are pretty low. Looking to engage now, Showmaker desperate for something, and Lucid just blown up immediately. And you see that the rest of the DK is just running away. In goes Raptor, flashes out there as the sleep comes in, but the damage is enough as Kellen says, I will collect the kill. And he does exactly that. BNK now 5,000 gold ahead, Wolf.
The first pick Pantheon just cannot hold a candle to BNK here in this best of 5 today.
BNK looking insane tonight, and now they're looking for Siu as well, and they will pick up that kill. A bunch does go into Clear, but he is the tank. And so at the end of the day, he will brush it off and not really care all too much. But it's just another kill, another turret going the way of BNK.
And they don't have a ton of control, so they're going to play a little bit more patiently as Diablo has Flash.
Yeah, he is just not going to use it until the very end here, but Flash has come in from Lucid, and now Clear shows up, and he says, get away from my 80 carry. And look, Diablo is still alive, finally. We do see the spear come in, and Clear a little bit out of position. Now he's being burst, but he is going forward in BNK fashion, has the wild growth, and they say, no Nunara, no problem. And they will be able to take down Smash and eliminate the second 80 carry from this fight. So now she was like, huh, maybe I can do it. No, he's just gonna get stunned up, as we do see Raptor going on in. And I think they gotta get out of here. Stat, although we are gonna see Shiu going in, does land the double stun. And now Showmaker trying to get something done as Unstoppable will go clear. And finally, Dplus is going to show up to this one. And Shiu finally does get that kill on a Raptor, but eventually will bite the dust. Because now we have the bubble coming in. Showmaker trying his best to make something of this series, but he's just going to get polymorphed.
This is a scrappy fight that didn't need to be that scrappy. The lead here for BNK, though, is so big that I just don't know if it matters that Dplus get these small victories in these longer exchanges.
Yeah, it's not enough, as you mentioned. Now we're going all out under the turret, and guess who's back? Back again, it is Nocturne to bring you the nightmares to any side laner, as Diablo's just in it. I don't really know how he got here, but he is ready to fight, as he always is. Diablo picks up the kill and has the McHale's right there.
Very likely here to BNK.
Oh,
no vision,
no
nothing.
Idea. Showmaker might just die here. The power comes in, and he is just hiding in the jungle. And no longer will Zoe be alive for this Baron. Career as well might be in some trouble. Bubble does go down on a Vikla, but even the wild growth is there trying to save Vikla. He's running away from everybody, and nobody can deal with him. Career goes down, and Clear is behind enemy lines. BNK truly are off the rails now, as Vikla is back, decides to die.
10,000 gold the lead here means that Vikla, the worst thing is he might get a stern talking to after this game, but I just don't know if it is really going to matter here as Dplus. And
yeah, I don't know.
Diablo's making a statement.
Sometimes the most unexpected result is the one that happens. Diablo is getting chunked out a little bit. Raptor getting flanked. He has to go forward. Doesn't really have any help from his team, though, although on the bottom side of this one, Lucid getting shredded by this gigantic Unara. As Diablo is just running straight into them, does not care at all. The flash forward from Kellen to save him, and Diablo can do whatever he wants tonight.
In the chat. And that's exactly what happened as his teammates give him all the resources. Smash here, looking for something.
Yeah, and they're stopping the back at the same time. Career's just dead, that's fine, but like, they stop Smash from getting back so that this push can happen in mid.
That's an inhibitor down, and there's no angle.
No. Okay.
That's a very appropriate emote for the situation.
Nice.
Carry they have. Vikla is gonna look for an angle.
No. Well, it's looking like death number 7 for the most popular guy in the arena, as we've mentioned many times, but he was not able to put up the performance to back it up, as now the damage goes in on the Smash, and that is Vikla's job. Just do just that, and Smash does not get to play the game. Doesn't matter if he dies or not. Smash 4-1, he's like, well, I guess this just wasn't our LCK Cup. We got the win on to T1, and that was a little bit too much, I suppose. And BNK, I mean, at least because this one is so one-sided, now I have hope that maybe BNK can do something tomorrow. Because before this, I was like, well, just give Genji the trophy, you know, the classic saying. But BNK looking amazing tonight, and DK have had no chance.
Certainly not really any ins in this series, as it's just an everything gap between these squads. A Showmaker trying his best to make something of this. The bubble. All
right, there it is, the bubble, but everything is thrown into Diablo to keep him alive, and even Showmaker trying, but does no damage. Another sleep bubble does come in at least, and that's about all they're gonna get. The knockback comes back on a Lucid, he gets stunned, and Diablo looking for more, as Clear is going to pick up another kill and deny him any streak there. But the game is over, and BNK are just playing with their food. But they have done what they came here to do tonight, and that is to book their ticket to the grand finals tomorrow. Down goes Diablo, he does not care. BNK, 3-0.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.